Greetings, fellow gorehounds, and welcome back to another Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
And I'm Count Jackula.
And we just watched The BLACKCOAT'S Daughter, which is the second film by the director of The Pretty Thing That Lives in the House, except it's actually his first film, or her first film. Is it a he or a she?
It's a guy.
It's a guy. It's their first film, but it was released second.
Yeah.
Okay. And for those of you who didn't see our vlog on The Pretty Thing That Lives in the House, we were not big fans of that movie.
No, we were not impressed.
I liked the idea of doing a Shirley Jackson-inspired haunted house story, but I wanted one where more things actually happen.
Yeah, this movie was the definition of padding and fill out the runtime, kids.
Yep. But we heard really good things about Blackcoat's Daughter, and it took me way longer than it should have to finally see the movie, but we finally did see the movie, and having seen Blackcoat's Daughter, we both enjoyed it.
Yeah, thumbs up.
It was really awesome. It is a slow burn movie, so to warn all those people out there that need their movies to be super fast paced, you probably shouldn't watch this one. But if you like yourself a good slow burn, a good character piece,
yeah,
this has a lot of really well drawn characters.
Yeah, with a really interesting mystery at the center of it,
and a really interesting mystery, and everything comes together in the end. We'll get more into that when we talk about the spoilers. But before we get to the spoilers, basically this movie is about two girls at a Christian Catholic boarding school?
Yeah, Catholic boarding school.
Yeah, Catholic boarding school, who, one of them seems to be stalked by some sort of demonic entity, and the other one is in danger as a result of this. And there's also a subplot of this one girl who's trying to get to the boarding school, and she is hitchhiking across the state to get there, and eventually these two plot threads collide in a way that I am guaranteeing you are not going to predict anytime soon.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, this movie it's creepy. It's got some really creepy moments. I wouldn't say it was like super scary. It's not like a super scary movie.
It's not a super scary movie. Like weird shit happens, but it's more dread than fright.
Dread is that is a good way to describe the feelings in this movie. There's a lot of dread, God, like this is a mood piece. This movie has like a really good, just unsettling mood throughout it from start to finish.
Yeah, it's supposed to, and I think it really succeeds. It's supposed to invoke a really lonely, desolate teenage mood.
Yes. And it does a really good job of that.
It does.
Like, one of the characters, we find out at the beginning of the movie, has to inform her boyfriend that her period is late, and therefore she might be pregnant. And this is something that weighs over her throughout the entire movie.
Yeah. Oh, pregnant girl at Catholic school. Ooh.
Yeah. And basically what ends up happening to the two girls is that neither of their parents show up on time to take them when the school's on vacation.
Yeah.
And so they have to stay, like, over a weekend until their parents can arrive to pick them up.
Yep.
But one of the kids is pretty much convinced that her parents are already dead. And the other kid she basically intentionally didn't tell her parents about picking her up on time and gave her the wrong date because she needed time to tell her boyfriend about her
pregnancy and
stuff. And yeah, like, it really did capture what it must be like to be two teenage girls in a Catholic boarding school.
Yeah. Yeah, having been in, I didn't go to a boarding school, but one thing I was very used to because of my upbringing was being in these like kind of lonely halls for extended periods of time and having all the adults around you be like really super fucking distant. And it even just captured the feeling of sitting on like a park bench in the snow late at night when no one's fucking around.
Yeah, because this was set in New England, so it would have been around your...
Yeah, no, it captured it beautifully.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're like, wow, that looks terrible. Yeah, it's not that great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not a great feeling. You know, that's not when the happy thoughts come for you.
Well, the other thing I liked is that setting it in this particular school, like, just being inside that school when it is empty at night is creepy in and of itself.
Yeah. The movie also has this very David Lynchian property. It doesn't go too far into the unexplainable, but what it does do that Lynch is very fond of is telling you the story obliquely.
Yeah.
No one's going to just come in and tell you what happened, but everyone is going to talk about it.
Yes. This is one of those movies that also does a lot of, there's a lot of showing and not telling.
Oh, there's a ton of that. Yeah.
So, and because of that, the movie dares you to keep up with it. Even though it's slow burn, there is a lot of showing you things without giving you any actual, like, information to run on, but will become important, and you should pay attention to it, because when it does inform you of what you just saw, it's important.
Yeah, it's super important. Yeah.
It's super important. In particular, when it comes to the girl who is hitchhiking across the state to get to the boarding school, a lot of, like, her flashes and dreams and stuff are actually really important.
Yeah, it does everything but tell you things like, the owls are not what they seem. It doesn't do that. But if something's important, it focuses on it.
Well, like
it feels weird because you're like, why are we looking at this?
A good example of some of the showing and not telling is like little moments when like a character is on the phone and we can't hear what's happening on the other end, but what the girl's expression is doing is telling us everything.
Yeah. Yep.
In a normal film, we would hear like dad saying, "Oh, we're gonna be late" or whatever. But in this movie, we just have the expression to go on, but it tells us all we need to know.
Yeah, because like not hearing the voice on the other end of the phone adds to the sense of isolation.
Yes, and it's because of it does a lot of things like that kind of make it out to be more of a mystery than it really is, because the movie gives you everything.
Yeah, it's actually it's very simple, but it takes you on this really weird ride.
And it's a super emotional journey too. I like that.
Yeah. Just so you can get into one character's head.
Yep, absolutely.
That's all it is. It's a very, very, and it's basically, and it's kind of, it's a movie that's kind of based around a couple of urban legends that have been woven together in a single story.
That makes sense. Yeah, I would say that.
Should we go into spoilers?
Yeah, I think it's about time. I give this movie 2 thumbs up. I highly recommend it. And I guess this technically counts as a 2017 catch-up vlog because it came out last year. But I highly recommend it.
You can find it on Amazon Prime,
yes,
right?
I'm going to include an Amazon affiliate link in the description below that will link to the movie. And I think if you have Amazon Prime, it'll be free for you. But if you don't, if you buy or rent the movie through that link, then I will get a kickback from it. So feel free to do that. And with all that said, my fellow Gorehounds, let us finally move on to the spoilers.
Where do you want to begin?
Oh, man, where do we begin with this?
Well, should we start with the big one?
Yes, let's start with the big one.
All right. The big one is the main character has made a deal with the devil!
Yes, this is yet another one of the supernatural satanic horror films that have become very in vogue this last 2 years. Basically, the little girl has made a deal with the devil, and what I like about this is that there's a lot of things that implicate this or indicate this at the beginning of the movie that you don't realize that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like there's a scene where she's talking to, I think it's either her pastor or her father. I don't know which. But
at
the very beginning of the movie, she's talking to this pastor and she's just looking into this corner and smiling the whole time. And the pastor's like, "What are you laughing or smiling about?" And she's like, "Oh, nothing." And you as the viewer don't even think very much of it when it happens. You just think little girl in sitting there talking to pastor, obviously doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
What the pastor says. But it becomes very clear over the course of the movie that, oh, she was seeing the devil. She was laughing at the devil who was mocking him, the pastor, the man of faith. It also explains the title of the movie, because the whole idea around Blackcoat's Daughter, besides it also referencing the song The Blackcoat's Daughter, is that the Blackcoat's Daughter can either refer to the daughter of a pastor who has a black coat, or the daughter of the devil.
Yeah.
Because the devil in this has like a black fur coat, like a goat.
Yeah. Yep. And you never see too much of him.
No, you don't really.
You generally know when it's him you're looking at.
You get vague, like shapes of who's probably the devil.
But. Yeah, except there is one scene, however, where he looks a little bit more real.
Yeah.
And that's when the crashed car is found.
And the funny part about this is that this isn't really what I would consider the mystery of the movie.
No, it's
This isn't even the answer to that mystery, because the real mystery of the movie is what the fuck does the subplot and the main plot have to do with one another? the subplot of the girl who's hitchhiking across the state to get to the school, and the subplot of the girls at the school. What do they have to do with each other? Now, you could rightfully guess that one of the persons that she hitchhikes with is two of the parents of the girls.
Yeah.
But while that is correct, holy shit, will you not be able to predict until they actually reveal it what's going on here, because it turns out these two events exist on two separate timelines.
Yep.
The thing with the girl on the hitchhiking is happening in the present, and the girls at the boarding school is happening 10 years ago.
Yep.
Because it turns out that the parents that she hitchhikes with are parents of one of the girls who died 10 years ago. And they are going back to, I guess, put some sort of, put like flowers on her grave. Now, this is the one thing where I had a weird logical question with the movie.
Yeah.
Was that if you were to bury your daughter, why would you bury her near the school she died and not near your home?
Agreed. That is a weirdness.
Yeah, because the idea is she was sent off to boarding school, so her parents didn't live near. If they lived near, then she wouldn't have to wait for them to come pick her up.
Yeah. It just seemed to be something...
That's the only logical problem I had with the movie, was that question, but
yeah.
I could roll with it.
Yeah, you kind of roll with it, like, okay, this couple has a weird thing that they do.
I could roll with that. It's, if that's the only complaint I have with the movie, then the movie did its job. Like, that's...
Yeah.
You know, but like, yeah, so it turns out that the little girl who made the deal with the devil, who we find out are flashbacks to the past, basically killed two of the nuns at the school, or servants, or whatever you call them.
Yeah, they look like nuns. Yeah.
Basically nuns, sisters, and killed the other girl, the girl that had the potential pregnancy that turns out she's not pregnant. It was just a false alarm. She killed both of them, beheaded them, and sacrificed them to Satan.
Yep.
And she is now hitchhiking cross state, and she's the girl. She's the girl. She's the older version of the girl. That's the actual mystery. That's the answer to the actual mystery. And I know I normally don't spoil endings in this, but
yeah, well, it's hard to talk about what makes the movie so good without revealing that.
But so she is basically going cross state again to get back to the school, because she's basically spent all her life in a mental ward. Yeah, and she's escaped. And we find this out through little pieces of her, like, cutting off one of those... one of those tags. Little hospital tags, and she has an ID that isn't actually her.
Yeah, that she stole off of a nurse.
And we'll see, like, flashbacks, like, oh, like, her strangling that person in the flashback, that was probably the nurse she stole the ID from, and stuff like that. And she is basically trying to get back to the school so that she can go into the basement where she did the initial sacrificial ceremony with the other girl and the sisters, and she wants to go back to the school so she can perform another ceremony so that Satan will come back to her, because in between these 10 years, they performed an exorcism on her, and so her connection to the Satan has been severed. Yeah. And that's basically what this whole movie's about. So if any of you watched this movie already and are watching my spoilers, wanting to know what the movie was about, that's the explanation.
What the movie is, yeah.
This whole movie is about a girl trying to reconnect her love connection to her surrogate father, Satan. Yep. And the movie's a fucking tragedy.
Yeah. But the movie's a tragedy because she goes and Satan never comes for her.
No.
I know. Like, you find yourself going, it's okay, oh no, poor little murderous crazy girl.
How fucked up is this? I'm sitting there watching this movie. I just watched her kill characters I completely care about. I watched her go through her exorcism. I watched her befriend these people that are really genuinely nice people and went through an awful tragedy and are being really kind to her, except for the mom. The mom really doesn't like her.
Mom was being kind of a bitch, but whatever.
But like, and she's killing these people and sacrificing these people, and yet I'm still sitting there going like, aw, Satan never called back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still feel bad for this poor girl, and she's a fucking psycho murderer Satanist. Like,
yeah.
It's like,
hey, what can you
that's
do?
Movie magic. That's movie magic. If you're able to give me empathy for a character who's gone that far off the deep end, you've done a good job.
Yeah, because it's all about loneliness and abandonment.
Yep. That's the whole movie. The whole movie's about that, you know? Like, that's why the parents are late and not picking them up on time. That's why Satan is supposed to be there to provide her with no longer being lonely, because the girl that she's stuck with doesn't even want to have anything to do with her.
Yeah.
And then to have Satan not come back at the end after she did all that, after she escaped, after she did everything, realizing that she is completely and utterly alone in this universe and that she will never, ever feel whole again. Jesus Christ, it makes you want to cry.
Yeah.
In fact, the entire last 10 minutes of this movie is basically her crying in the snow. I'm probably exaggerating. It's probably more like a 20-minute cry scene.
Yeah.
Or 2-minute cry scene.
2-minute cry scene. It goes on for a while. It just has the saddest girl crying in snow. Oh my God.
Yeah. It's just, I love this movie. It was really good. In fact, it turned me around on this director after having just hated the pretty thing that lives in the house.
Oh, that was so bad. It was so bad.
So now I look forward to the next movie, because maybe the next movie will be this. Hopefully it won't be Pretty Thing, you know?
Oh, no, do that one again. Do this one again. Don't do that one again.
Or do something completely different, but that's of this level of
whatever
quality.
Magic you needed to make that other movie happen, do that. Holy crap.
So yeah, this is one of those rare cases where I actually did spoil the entire movie for you here. So if you go and see this movie, you're like, oh, he normally doesn't give us the ending. I did give you the ending this time, and I hope that for those of you who are on the fence, that will be enough to get you to check out this movie.
Yeah,
it's legitimately good.
because that's the payoff, the emotional.
Well,
payoff
what makes this movie so good is the emotional payoff.
Yeah,
and if you didn't have that emotional payoff, it would not have come together, and it would have just been a boring affair.
Yeah,
you're just like, oh, I spent all that time and paid attention to all these details for nothing.
Yeah,
which is kind of how I felt after Pretty Thing. I did not feel
exactly how I felt after Pretty
I did not feel like Pretty Thing came together the way this one did. And the way it did come together was not satisfying in the slightest.
Ooh.
You know?
Ooh.
Whereas this movie, like, I'm sitting there wanting to cry at the end. The movie did its job.
Yeah.
You know, like...
It did. I understand why everyone would want me to see this movie.
Oh, yeah, definitely up your alley. Like, between this, A Dark Song, The Ritual, like, these...
Oh, man, no, those are all so good.
Yes.
So good.
The Witch. There's a lot of The Witch in this.
There is. Yeah. You know, it very much... It's like The Witch, but it doesn't have the happy ending.
No. Like, if you were to cross The Witch and Let Us Pray, somewhere this movie would lie.
Yeah,
but, this movie is a lot slower paced than both of those movies. And that's saying a lot, because The Witch is pretty slow.
Yeah. You know, well, it's also weird, because it also does that thing where you're just sort of like, well, aw. Yeah, it does that thing where it's like, yeah, the devil killed a bunch of people, had you kill a bunch of people, but, you know,
the thing is,
the exorcism's the real tragedy.
The thing is, I keep calling the movie slow paced, but it's only slow paced in the sense that it really isn't until the last 20 minutes it becomes an outright horror movie.
Yeah.
Like, up until that point, it's a character study of these two characters, and there's little details that are implicating horrible things that are going to happen, but they haven't happened yet.
Yeah, and then you get to the end.
Yeah.
Then it all starts to go down.
Yeah.
Man, I really, really liked Blackcoat's Daughter.
Me too. This is a solid 2 thumbs up. I'm still, for those of you wondering, I am still compiling my top 10 list. I actually have it completely written, and it will be recorded, but this month has been so busy for us, and we actually have like 2 or 3 people that are staying in the apartment this month.
Yeah.
So my time to actually record and edit or film anything has been very limited.
Oh, yeah.
We just happen to have some downtime today, which is why we're recording this vlog and his Mute vlog.
Yeah.
Which, go to his channel, Count Jackula, if you want to see our thoughts on Netflix's Mute. But because of that, like, I've had to postpone that top 10 list, which was supposed to be done at the beginning of this month, until this month is over. But it will be out, and Blackcoat's Daughter will not be on that list, but it will be on the honorable mentions because it was really good.
Yeah, it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to know what number 10 was, though. What beat it out? Just
number 10?
Yeah.
I believe 10 is Belko Experiment.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Yeah. I really love Belko Experiment. Hey, you guys just got a sneak peek to the top 10 list.
Oh my God.
You gotta also remember, there was a lot of movies like Get Out and The Void last year.
That's
were like,
true. Damn, we rewatched that the other day. That void is. I don't care what anyone says. That movie's still great.
Still good.
You know?
I like this because anyone who's sticking towards the end of this vlog throughout the whole thing is now getting a sneak peek to a future video.
Yeah. That's what you get. That's what you get for your loyal fan base. It's like a Marvel spoiler, kids.
Yes.
It's like a Marvel cameo. It's like, damn.
So,
bam.
So, Count Jackula, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at this address, Count_Jackula. I also have a Twitch account where I mainly stream video games. Like right now, we're doing Bloodborne, but I might change it to something else because
the difficulty curve of that game is insane.
Dude.
And Jack is a very angry man.
Yeah, fucking 10 hours, I'm still on the first level. The first level.
The thing I will say is that you getting extremely mad and frustrated while really hard on you is probably really entertaining the audience.
Entertainment gold. I plead for you people. All right. Well, hey, keep donating them ducats. Maybe we'll keep doing it. You know.
I also have a Twitch account, which I will put right here. And you guys know where to find me. You're at my channel right now. So, as per usual, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified of my videos immediately upon their upload. And as per usual, my fellow gorehounds, peace out, and I'll catch y'all later.